What's going on, folks? It's your friendly neighborhood Professor Cag, swinging through the hallways, highways, and byways of a local YouTube room near you. And for those of you who are in my second summer school session class, this week is a very important and big week, folks. We only have a couple more weeks until we are indeed concluded with our summer session. So I've got a couple of announcements that I want to make to you all, a couple of updates that I want to actually present to you, and also some guiding steps on upcoming and important deadlines and some spotlights for this particular week as you move through course module 4.0 under modules. Okay, so without further ado, let's go ahead on and let's get right on into it. So last week you all submitted your writing assignment number 2, which is your rhetorical analysis on Barbara Ehrenreich's Nickel and Dimed. And what I want to do today is I want to actually orient us into the course itself so we can see where we're at and what kind of progress we're making in terms of moving through the course materials, the readings, and also the activities that we have to do. So actually, let me switch right over to our student view. Okay, so if you all will follow along with me, you'll see that I've clicked on modules and I'm going to go directly up to syllabus course documents. And when I click that, I'm going to hit the drop down menu and you'll see the last file that's been posted, or at least the bottom file, Summer 26 course schedule. We're going to click that, and this is actually our course map, which is what I showed you all in our Welcome to English 100 video. We are still following this course map. It is indeed our guiding light as we move forward through the semester. So for this week, we are in week 4, today is July 7th. So I'm coming at you live and direct on a Tuesday. And we are covering the topic of competition, or is it in you? Now this here is just like a kind of careful play on the idea of an argument, right? An academic argument, okay? It's partly a play on the idea or the notion of competition versus free play. Also, it's a play on the idea of an argument being a kind of competition, an attempt to persuade others, your audience, in favor of your proposed idea or your proposed set of actions that you want to make the case for, that would seek to address a particular and specific social issue, right? Versus another approach. So it's a careful play on the competition or the ideological attempt to persuade others of your argument over someone else's. Okay. Now that does not necessarily mean a verbal fight. Okay. As we will indeed learn for this week's course module. In terms of the reading, we will indeed be reading what is an academic argument, which is directly underneath Canvas. It is one of our first, I believe it's actually module 4.1, if I'm not mistaken. Also, 2, choosing a topic, building a thesis, bringing it all together, as well as the structure of arguments. And then also, most importantly, we will continue with our reading in Barbara Ehrenreich's Nickel and Dimed. Okay. So part of what I want to do today, in addition, before I actually get to the next part, in addition to the readings, we also have our activities that we're going to do for this particular week. And I want to actually go over course modules, the activities. So you'll see underneath dialogue, there's discussion board number 4, as well as developing a thesis statement, building a thesis statement, and then writing assignment number 3, which is due July 12th. Writing assignment number 3 is going to be the most important activity that we have due for this week. Let's take a look underneath modules and we'll go directly to course module 4.0. So as you can see here, there are no discussion board activities for this particular week. Now, you might be wondering to yourself, well, why is that, Professor Cag? Because I had you actually complete those course modules last week. So last week we had a double portion of course modules, discussion board number 4 and discussion board number 5. And the idea behind it is to help to get you all prepared for writing your actual essay. Okay. So for this week, you'll only have to focus on writing assignment number 3, which is the persuasive argument. Okay. So I did want to highlight that for you all. Here, as I mentioned earlier, in terms of the writing assignment activities and also to the readings, you can find everything, mostly the readings, you can find them all underneath 4.1, 4.2, and also 4.3 in this week's course module. Okay. All right. Now let's go back. So as we can see here, course module 4, week 4, course module 4.0, competition is in you. What is an academic argument? Choosing a topic, building a thesis, bringing it all together, and then the structure of argument. This is the main thrust of our entire focus for this week's module. Okay. So I'll discuss what the readings are, discuss what course module 4.0 entails. Next, most importantly, what we'll actually have to cover are our upcoming deadlines. Okay. So if I take a look back at our announcements for week 4, updates and announcements, we discussed this week's theme, readings. You can also find underneath our course module. Upcoming deadlines. As I mentioned just a second ago, you have only writing assignment number 3 that's due this Sunday at by July 12th. I have a couple of more updates that I'm going to verbalize to you all on this video right here. There are 2 more updates that I want to actually give to you. One, in addition to writing assignment number 3 as an upcoming deadline by July 12th, it is due by July 12th, 11:59 p.m. Also, on that day by 11:59 p.m., you all should receive back your grades for writing assignment number 1 and your grades for writing assignment number 2. Okay. I was a little bit behind with writing assignment number 1. There were actually a lot more extensive feedback that I was able to give on some of your writing assignment number 1 critical memoir assignments that you all submitted. One thing that I actually noticed that a lot of you are doing here, and I don't want you to fall into this habit because I'm starting to notice it as early as writing assignment number 1, you all are not, there's one of 2 things that's happening, and maybe there might actually be both things happening at the same time. But one in particular is that you all are not reading the course modules, and I can tell based on your writing, specifically in your introduction. Okay. There is a specific way that you all that makes a college level essay different from a high school essay or from writing assignments that you may have actually submitted in the past, or even approaches to writing that you may have learned from the past that were not based or rooted in college level writing. Okay. I'm seeing a lot of non-college level writing techniques and patterns that are popping up. Now, this could be quite simply leftover ideas or ways of knowing that extend from high school, and that could be possible. That could be not, or these are all patterns that would actually pop up in an AI generated assignment. So I want to caution you all right now. Many of you will notice that you did not pass writing assignment number 1. There's a reason for that. You did not demonstrate anything, any part of any technique that was covered under course module number 2 if you did not pass. If you passed, that means that you did demonstrate some use of those techniques. It looked like you did actually read, and it looked like you did also to apply what it is that you read and what you learned from course module 1, course module 2 into writing assignment number 1, the critical memoir. Now, for those of you who did not, you do have the opportunity to revise your essay, but the revisions all need to be for writing assignments 1, 2, and also 3. You won't be able to revise writing assignment number 4 because that will be collected during our last week, and I will not be accepting any essays at all, and I mean specifically in terms of revisions, after July 19th. Okay, July 19th is the last Sunday of our last week in this summer school class. Okay, so here's the steps. Here's the procedure for how to submit or resubmit a revision. Step 1, you must schedule an office hours appointment with me immediately. Okay, as soon as you check your writing assignment and look at my comments and look at your grades as well as the revisions, as well as the rubric scores that you scored for the essay, read over those and then schedule an office hours appointment with me. That's step 1. Step 2, show up to the office hours appointment. Let's discuss what it is, a revision strategy, what it is that you did that worked well, and then we'll discuss what some of the challenges were. For many of you, you certainly did not read my syllabus, and that's a problem because this essay requires, as well as all the essays here in this particular class, if you want to receive a passing grade, requires that you write the essay in a particular kind of format, right? And that format can be found underneath modules, syllabus, writing guidelines, and submission format, okay? So for some of you, you had to revise your essay because you didn't write it at all in anything that looked like you even attempted to write in our college level standard format. Okay. Others of you, there are additional comments that you'll be able to actually see and that you could actually use, that I will use when we meet to guide my feedback to you so we could develop a revision strategy. So that's step 2. Meet with me. Let's discuss a revision strategy. Step 3, revise your essay. Step 4, resubmit your essay in the same folder that you submitted it by July 19th, no later than 11:59 p.m. Okay, I will indeed add that up here underneath the upcoming deadlines. Okay, because you have about a little more than 10 days. You have about 12 days. Okay, to submit your revision. Now, if you did not actually submit your essay at all, you cannot submit it on July 19th. Okay, that is not what that date there is for. Sorry, y'all, but that's not going to happen. Okay, you cannot go all the way through this entire semester or through this entire summer session not having submitted any work and saving it all to be submitted until July 19th. I am verbalizing that to you all. I will indeed write that up here underneath the upcoming deadline section. And yet I still fear that I will have some students who will say, well, Professor Cagg, I thought that I could submit until July 19th. You're hearing it from me now. If you did not submit by the original due date or within, if you did not reach out to me and let me know what your situation was and that you needed an extension, and submitted it within 4 days of the original due date, and you cannot submit your essay for the first time on July 19th for writing assignments 1 through 3. Okay. Now, writing assignment number 2, comments and feedback will indeed be returned as well on July 12th. So you can look forward to that. Lastly, but not leastly, 2 more things. One, some research tips for this week. Okay, so this week we're learning about how to build a persuasive argument. Now, one of the most important components of building a persuasive argument is doing research and finding the facts, statistics, evidence, and data that helps you to create your logical reasons for your argument. Okay. Again, you'll have to read course module 4.0 in order to understand exactly what it is that I'm talking about, what a logical reason is, how to research evidence, facts, and data, and how to actually incorporate that into your essays. Okay. That's also too what we'll discuss in more concrete ways on our YouTube live coming up this Thursday. All right. Now, most importantly, last thing that I'll actually put on your radar before we end today's video, office hours. You can, underneath our success strategies for announcements, you can see number 3, there's a link for office hours. Click this and it'll take you directly to my office hours page where you can select a time. You'll see that my office hours are indeed available for tomorrow, 11:15 and 11:30. I've yet to have anybody actually select any of these 2 times here, but you can select these 2 times for next week. Okay. All right, folks. Well, hopefully this was useful to you, and I hope to see you all very soon in office hours and also in our YouTube live this Thursday.